Hello everyone, my name's Captain Jack and welcome back to Space Engineers. It's a Monday, which means we're doing our weekly review. Today with me I actually have an artillery cruiser. Now this caught my eye on the Steam workshop as per usual. It's called the Caliber Artillery Cruiser and contains no mods, a realistic, and it's oxygen ready. Now it is built by the user by No Signal. He seems to have made quite a few things in his time. This is the one I've came across today. It looks very impressive, so we are going to be taking a deeper look into it and seeing all the magic it holds in it. I've had a quick play around of it as I usually do before I start these videos, and this one is hidden full of features that really make the design stand out. So I'm going to be showing them to you today and how you might want to implement some of these designs into your own designs or pick up this cruiser and use it in things like survival servers, as it could definitely be beneficial. I'm already thinking I could use this in one of our public survival servers. Speaking of which, if you'd like to join one of them, feel free to join my Discord down below via the link in the description. But anyway, let's jump into this review. Now some of the features of this artillery cruiser is that it's automatically loading, it is a pre-fire protection, unlimited range, and allows custom payloads. This is definitely good for someone who wants to experiment with what they can actually fire out of their gravity artillery cruiser. Another cool feature, as you can see as I'm just scanning by now, is those are hangar blast doors protecting the ion thrusters. These seal in essentially a battle mode where the ship will protect some core and vital systems on itself. A very cool addition, and you can definitely see it being included in a lot more builds. I know for myself I need to get a bit better at building some survival creations and including something like a battle mode on them. Now one of the distinctive features you may have noticed on this build is the ball turret in the middle here, which I'm looking at now. A very cool feature, and we're going to be playing around with it very soon. This operates extremely differently than how I've seen something on a ship before, and kind of reminds me of the artillery cruiser out of Dreadnought. Hopefully I'm going to be tweeting this ship to the developers today, see what they think of it, as it's very cool. So before we do that, we are just going to take a look around the vessel and see what interesting things we can actually spot. Now overall, I do like the way this ship has been built. It's got a very sleek and thin profile. Again, it's an artillery cruiser. It's not meant to be big and bulky and take on ships literally in close proximity. It is meant to sit at the real far end of a battlefield and just fire shots off while the other ships get involved. Essentially, it's the sniper of the warfare scene, to be honest, and they operate extremely well. If you've been in games like Dreadnought or Fractured Space, you know how well these ships can operate and how deadly they can be on the battlefield. So now imagine it in Space Engineers. One thing I'd love to see at some point is actually getting a battle like they're operating where these ships do actually play quite well. I mean, even Halo has them with the Mac cannons, essentially. So if we look here, we can come in towards where the actual firing chamber is. We've got a custom warhead here, which is obviously warheads and a load of other stuff, including our auto-loading mechanism, which I guess must switch around or something like that to build onto. Ever so, it is really cool. Also got the gravity generators up here as well to amplify how fast things can fly forward. Pretty cool. Couple of cameras set up here so you can see what you're launching from. A good array of viewpoints. Now this ship has one thing, which is its benefit of how much it can view from. I really like how they've done that. Now here's one of the sections I was talking about a moment ago. The blast doors protect the iron thrusters here. No, they don't protect all the iron thrusters, but basically they're protecting some, so if these big ones are knocked offline, you still have these to navigate out with. As I mentioned before, it has a series of modes where it will make use of the hydrogen engines over here to maximise its thrust in different directions. More cameras over here, including Decoy Systems. Now one system I am going to show you on this ship in a bit is a hidden decoy system in here, which deploys out to basically fort off fighters or enemy ships or something that could be attacking if it gets too close to the ship. A very cool feature, and I can't wait to see it used more in Space Engineers. Now if we go along with ship here, we obviously got more features underneath, including more battle sort of turrets around here. Very cool. There's a piston in here for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what this does, but if we just look in here a minute, it seems like it's an elevator or something. We'll have to look inside for that in a minute. Bit odd that it's sticking out there, but I guess you couldn't really fit it in anywhere else. So not a big deal. Now the ship does have some point defense, as you can see. A couple of Gatling turrets down here below. One on top, and I think that is all for Gatling turrets, yeah. So it does have some minor point defense, but again, like I said, this ship isn't meant to engage other starships. This is most likely there for when it needs to jump out of a situation rather quickly, which is to be explained. It also does have its decoy block set up all over the ship, as you can see, so this ship does have plenty of evasion tactics it can use. Now moving into the core middle of the ship, a very thin line connecting both parts of the ship, but it's also got this really impressive ball turret here. Now we're going to have to check this out in a momento to see how it actually works, but I can't actually wait to find out. It appears to have these missile turrets here, which are built into the rest of it here and have it armed up with the conveyor tubes as well. Definitely a cool feature, and I can't wait to see how it actually works. Moving back, we've got more hydrogen engines as well as a jump drive hidden in there. Again, more ion engines protected by blast doors are very impressive. Away onto the ship is where we're going to be boarding in a minute. More hydrogen engines towards the back, more point defense turrets back here. I didn't see these a minute ago. Obviously got some stuff protecting our engine base here. We're propelled by 2 iron thrusters and 2 hydrogen thrusters as well, so a good range of thrust to actually make sure you can go forward just in time. I've noticed there's a ship over there. We're going to take a shot of that in a minute. But anyway, let's board the ship and see if we can find out some more features. I did forget to mention there was areas on the top here of that sort of back launch bay here for decoy blocks, a top thruster and also a laser antenna if you want to stay in that stealth approach and do covert ops. I mean, these ships tend to need to. So if we board into here, we're going to find out some things in the ship. A bit of a step there. If we walk into the back of the ship, let's have a look. Obviously got a different section back here, some blast door blocks. You can see the decoy things in there. Giant hydrogen tanks here keep all our hydrogen engines running. You definitely need them. But if we progress towards the front of the ship, we're walking past the jump drive. Very nice to see it. And we've got this different section in here. Now I'm not sure how we actually get down from here. But oh no, there's a sensor trigger. And the lift is coming down for us. Very impressive. Hello. Right. I guess we step on. I take it, does it go up automatically, or do I have to tell it to go up? There we go, I have to trigger the sensor. Okay, that makes more sense. And we're going up. And it should take us to the thin walkway up here. There we go. Right, so we're going to pass over this. Now we're passing through the neck of a ship where that ball turret is I just showed you. So let's be careful. Sensor blocks here. Oh, this is an airlock system. Oh, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So I have to wait for it to pressurize or something like that. Interesting. Okay, right, that's fair enough. Let's stop playing around with buttons and actually do something. So you've kind of got the control seat here. You can sit in it and control the starship. We will come back to the minute. I'm just going to complete the interior tour, then we'll play other features. In here, there's also a cockpit to view outside as well. I wouldn't recommend using it all the time, as you're most likely to get shot off. Towards the back of the ship, you've got a warning vacuum, another airlock system out here. We've already been through there. We know where it leads to, so I don't need to go out there just yet. But it's also where the other piston was that I showed you a moment ago. Now, if we walk through here, I'm just going to open up all of this a minute as I don't want to wait for the airlock system. Walking into here, we've got a bit of a front system, cargo containers contained in here, and obviously more sections down here, which are quite cool. And going around here again, more areas, including like an engineering section, which is quite cool. I don't know what this is in here. We'll have to come back to that later. But walking in, let's jump into the CIC and see what we can actually control. Now, there is a ship already parked over there, so I wonder if we can target it. Now, on number 1, we do have missiles. They fire like that. Pretty cool. We'll control a bolter in a minute. Number 2, we can control Gatling turrets. Very nice. Now, number 3, we can launch the artillery thing like that. We're going to have to wait for it to reload in a memento. But it's been shot off there in the distance. Now, I wonder if we can aim for that ship over there. So while that is reloading down here, I did just want to show you a few other features inside the ship. Now, we have one over here, which is the Decoy Bay. I'm going to open up now. We're going to launch the decoys on number 2. Go. So these things will launch out here, and they are kind of freaky but impressive at the same time. It's launched one decoy bomb, which operates rather well. Now you're thinking, Jack, what is this weird contraption? What does it do? Well, as you can see, it is littered full of decoys, and it's spinning around basically to divert enemy fire. We can also launch another one as well, I think, which it may be stuck under there, so I'm not entirely sure. There you go, number 3 is launching. Bang, and it is out there. Very cool. And both of them launch, and they're basically going to dissuade enemy fire to actually hitting the main ship. Quite an impressive feature. I would like to see it on more builds soon, as it could definitely shake up the battlefield. Now, I did miss out some stuff on number 1 here. We've got the missile turrets, which I showed you. We've managed to fire the first block. 4 or 5 is your railgun views. Now, 7 is my cruise mode. We are already in cruise mode right now, so we need to trigger that. Number 8 is siege mode, which I can activate. This turns on more thrusters, meaning we can basically move around a bit better. It's actually really helpful as it increases our maneuverability for the ship, meaning we can target and aim a lot better. Now, number 9 is battle mode, which will basically seal some of the doors as I showed you earlier. We can see them now closing. They're protecting our ion thrusters. We are just going to go back to siege mode for the sake of it, because I'm going to be wanting to fire on other ships, which is what we're going to do now. So we switch to number 4, and we align ourselves to target. We are in range. Holding on range, and fire. Now we're going to chase, see if I can actually hit that. I'm going to call it a long shot and say I probably missed, because the ship did turn as I was firing. We may hit, we may, come on. Whoa! That definitely caused a lot of damage. That blew out a lot of the hull, look at that. A lot of that ship has just gone missing, wow. We're going to have to test this on another ship in a minute, see how much damage it can actually cause. But wow, let's look through the rest of the ship systems to get an idea of what it contains. So on page 2, you just saw me launch the decoy bombs. Number 5, we also have the Oculus toggle. We're going to see what that does in a minute. So if we enable the ball turret, there we go. Number 6 will allow us to control it, I believe, or something like that. It doesn't seem to want to work today. Okay, well, we'll let go of that for a minute. Now, I think number 8 will enable stall a gravity gun. There we go. And number 9 will fire the gravity gun. There we go. There's another shot being fired off. We'll come back to it in a minute. Now, number 3, we've also got some over here. Start emptying oxygen overflow tanks. These are just your normal maintenance things. You don't really need these. And number 4 has another range of cameras we can operate, including different views of the starship, as you can see. Pretty cool to have. It basically gives you a view of everywhere on board the ship. It's a nice idea to have, but we're going to test some more firing on other ships in a minute to see how much damage this actually does. Now, just by the off chance that my good friend Dr. Kraz does watch this, I thought we'd set up one of his own ships to fire on. So we're lined up and we're firing as the artillery cruiser, so let's see how much damage it actually does. So, fire. There we go, right, shot's been fired. Now we're going to follow it through space, see if it hits the target. And we're waiting and we're ready. Now look at the amount of damage the ship actually did. Now Kraz's ship does have a thing here which basically projects and it can weld and repair itself. But it is pretty cool. So let's see how much more damage we can do. Let's try again. Now it should hit in roughly the same location. There we go, another shot directly into that compartment again. This time blowing out the automatic repair systems. So imagine if the ship was moving now. I did just fire another shot as well and another shot. See, this is how quickly you can actually get these shots to fire. I'm now spamming the correct key, meaning this is definitely firing on target. So if we align ourselves again to a correct area, we're going to now pelt the ship full of projectiles. So look how fast this actually can fire. It's kind of scary in a way. Now we're watching. Shot 1. That's separated part of the ship. Shot 2. More damage. Pelting the ship there. Now if we start aiming some more critical sections like the engine bay. Let's see if we can take out a few of those thrusters. Maximum firepower. Now we are missing a few of our shots now as the ship has been pushed off trajectory, which is a bit difficult to compensate for, but the damage we've actually caused to the ship is quite impressive. Look at that. I mean, if you was commanding this starship now, you would be in a lot of trouble right now. So it is impressive. And there we go, guys. That has been the artillery cruiser today. A very impressive ship. I would like to see more use of it in Space Engineers. Now, tell me down below in the comment section, would you use this yourself? Are you a man of artillery cruisers or woman? Would you use artillery cruisers in a battle? Or would you typically prefer battleships or something like that? Now, I could definitely see myself using something like this, and I think soon I will try and build some more of these in my own world, especially in our public survival server, where we've recently found out artillery cruisers can shake up the tide of war. These are very impressive ships, and I can't wait to see them used very more. Thanks to No Signal for creating this awesome build. If you do want to get it yourself, check it out on the workshop page down below. I've been Captain Jack, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.